Well, hi, friends, and welcome to NC Family's weekly update for the week ending Friday, October the 4th. Mitch, Sharon, can y'all believe it's October already?
No.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It is incredible. And we know that there's something about a month away,
What is that?
just right over the horizon. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Before we get into that, though, we do want to be serious and send our sincere prayers to all of those who have been affected by Hurricane Helene, which has wreaked havoc, of course, across the western part, especially of the state of North Carolina, but also in the southeastern U.S. There are still rescue efforts that are underway, of course, relief efforts that will be underway for weeks and months, and then rebuilding and a lot that's going to be years into the future. So just an incredible storm, an incredible impact on our state. Our prayers especially go out to those who lost their lives and to families who lost loved ones as a result of the storm. Those individuals are still being found. There's still power outages, cell phone outages. I know family members, we've been contacted by some individuals who are frantically looking for family members and are, hopefully by God's grace.
Even out of state.
Yeah, even out of state.
Yeah.
That because those family members who have been impacted by the hurricane have not been able to call and get a live line out to loved ones. So just continue to be in prayer. Join us in prayer for these families and individuals impacted. There's a link to an article that we posted on our website below the video where you can get some information about how you can get involved. And there's also some additional links below for relief agencies and groups that are working to help address the immediate needs of people affected by this incredible storm. So just let's continue to remain in prayer and in action for our friends and neighbors, not only across North Carolina, but across the southeastern U.S.
Absolutely.
One thing is certain, despite the hurricane, the election of November 5th, the general election.
That's what
we were referring to earlier, Mitch. Finally caught on a little late to the
better
show.
Better late than never.
Yeah, better late than never.
Speaking of, vote early, vote often.
Yeah, but the election is going to go on, and on November 5th, the general election. But we've got a month and a little bit of time up until that point. Of course, early voting, in-person early voting starts on October 17th, and NC Family is really excited to announce that our voter guide website went live this week at ncfamilyvoter.com. That's ncfamilyvoter.com. And also, we are starting to mail out and ship out our voter guides. We're mailing individual copies of our voter guide to everyone on our mailing list. And then we are fulfilling bulk orders where folks across the state have ordered voter guides in bulk for distribution at their church, their civic group, their neighborhood, in their communities. And you can still place those orders. There's a link under the video for that as well. And let us know how many voter guides you need to put one in the hands of every family in your church, in your community, and we will be happy to ship those out to you. We need to get those out to voters all across the state.
Hundreds of those have already gone out. Hundreds of those orders have already gone out in bulk. And so, like you said, you still have the opportunity to order those. And our team here has done a great job of putting that all together.
Exactly. We printed 250,000, 250,000 voter guides in print version. And then the voter guide website at ncfamilyvoter.com, again, is up and active. And we will get tons and tons of traffic there. There's lots and lots of information. And speaking about lots of information about the candidates and from the candidates, Sharon, you worked a lot, very diligently on this project for us, along with some other members of our staff, but you were kind of the point person as we were working to follow up with candidates and collect information for the voter guide. Tell us a little bit about that, kind of what your experience was like.
Yeah, so I think it's important to remember there's a large group of people. There's over 400 candidates. Yep. So initially we send out questionnaires. We make sure we have the addresses. If we don't have them, we try to find them using the State Board of Elections website. Sent those out. We did follow-up calls. We reached out to every single candidate.
over and over.
Over and over. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably too much for some people, but we did everything we could to get you the information. And this year, besides just asking questions and having them answer, particularly for those that did not answer, that we did not get a hold of, we now have a link to their website, and we've also printed it in the guide. So if you don't see the answers that on the page that we had asked, you can still go on and kind of dig around on their own websites to see if you can't get some information there.
And go to their websites and get contact information for them. Often they'll post a phone number. Sometimes they don't, which is kind of interesting, but often they'll post a phone number or a place on their website where you can send them an email and ask them a question. We would really encourage you to do that. These are people that are seeking to represent you either in the state legislature, in executive offices in North Carolina, or even in Congress up in D.C. And you have every right and every opportunity to reach out to them to ask them where they stand on issues that you care about. And one of the great things about NC Family's Voter Guide are the questions that we ask the candidates, and the information that we get from the candidates is information you really can't get anywhere else, because we're asking about issues of sanctity of life, religious liberty, parental rights, school choice, tax policy, what role faith plays in their lives, that sort of thing. And so this is information you can't get elsewhere.
That's right.
And so we really want to be a conduit of information from the candidates to the voters. And Sharon, I just want to say thank you, especially to you. You did an outstanding job reaching out to candidates. Yes, some of them probably got tired of hearing our voices on their voicemail. Yes, and getting emails from us and texts and all that sort of stuff. Our goal is to have 100% participation for the candidates. Unfortunately, we don't get that level of participation, but we did provide, as Sharon said, links to the candidate campaign websites in the print version of the voter guide and also online. We also have pictures of the candidates on the website, so you can see what they look like, and just a lot of very valuable, helpful information so that you can be an informed voter when you go to vote.
I would say, too, one of the most important things in that guide for me personally is that the judicial races are in there, too. And oftentimes we don't have any information about the judges or the people running for those seats. So it's nice we ask them particular questions. It's a little bit different than a state candidate or a federal candidate, but it is nice to know, where they stand, what they think of the Constitution, how much of a constitutionalist are they.
Right.
That kind of stuff is in there. It's very helpful.
And these are candidates running for the state Supreme Court and Court of Appeals. There's one state Supreme Court race and 3 Court of Appeals races on the ballot. Sharon, you're absolutely right. Those races, often the voters just really don't have much of an idea about who these candidates are. And the highest response rate that we have as a group from candidates is judicial candidates. I think they're really hungry to get information out about their judicial philosophy and things like that out to voters across the state so the voters can be informed. And so we have gotten a really good response rate from them. Mitch, I know you've been involved in the political and policy arena for a long time. Talk a little bit about the value of the voter guide as a resource for voters in North Carolina.
Absolutely, John. I think we have one of 2 people listening today. There's 2 people. There's 2 people that are listening right now.
There are only 2?
Only 2.
Well, this is for you.
the 2 of you out there, seriously, you are either the one that calls somebody else right before election time and says, "Help me," or you're the one that gets the phone call. So if you're the one that gets the phone call or the one that is calling people, you no longer need to worry about this by looking things up in the newspaper or scouring the internet. It's all here for you in one location. You can go to ncfamilyvoter.com, or if you're analog, you can get your hands on this and you can flip through it. And it's fascinating reading material. But like you said, the information you're getting here is all in one place. And it's vital, it's crucial for you to have a thoughtful, well understood approach to who you're voting for. We're not telling you who to vote for here, but we are asking the questions. The questions have been asked of the candidates that you care about. As you said, life, religious liberty, school choice, judicial philosophy. Those are the questions that you care about. We understand that you care about them. So when they call you or you're calling them right before the election to find out who to vote for, it's all right here for you. You can go to ncfamilyvoter.com and get all of the details on what they believe, who they are, and even see some of their pictures, which is real. It's almost like digital baseball cards, if you will. Pretty neat stuff. You got to check this out.
Yeah, one thing I'll mention too is that the print version of the voter guide includes all the candidates running for the U.S. House, Governor and Council of State, State Supreme Court and Court of Appeals, and the entire state legislature, so the State House and the State Senate. So as Sharon said, there are like 400 candidates included in the voter guide. So it's a 24-page newsprint document, and we're happy to get those out all across the state. The voter guide website, you can go on and actually type in your name and address, and it will populate a personalized voter guide for you that will include the candidates that are running in your specific congressional district, in your specific state Senate district, in your specific state House district, but also all the candidates like governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and those judicial candidates that are running for statewide office in North Carolina. So it's very personalized to you. You can review that. You can print it out. There's a guide also on the first page of the inside cover of the voter guide, or the third page of the inside cover, where you can actually write down who your choices are. You can cut that out, take it with you to the voting booth, and so you already are well prepared before you walk in to vote to have that information.
So you're telling me that if I can't get to all my friends before election time, I can just tell them to go to ncfamilyvoter.com. They can punch in their address and do it for themselves?
Mitch, that's what I'm telling you. Yes.
You can teach a man to fish.
Yes.
I like this.
You can go, you can direct your friends to ncfamilyvoter.com. They can go on, type in their name and address, and populate their very own personalized voter guide.
I do want to add one more thing too, if
Yes.
I may. When you go online, you can also see their answers in their handwriting that they wrote.
Yep.
We have scanned every single one of the questionnaires.
You scanned all.
I scanned all. We
Yes.
group effort. But yes, they're in there. So sometimes you're going to see a little star that indicates that there's more that they've said.
Wait, what does that
and
mean?
then you can go and look that up and see exactly what they said.
Yeah, and one of the things we want to, again, be a conduit of information from the candidates to the voters. And so we ask the voters these questions. There are like 15 questions for statewide candidates, 14 questions for congressional candidates, fewer questions for the judicial candidates, although those are more open-ended questions. But especially for the judicial candidates, they will write a response and provide that on their questionnaire. And as Sharon said, we've scanned all those questionnaires so that you can see their answers in their own handwriting. We've notated in the voter guide, both online and the print version, if there are additional comments that the candidates have provided, directing you to the website so that you can see all of that information. Because sometimes those comments that they make are very informative. And some candidates don't feel like a yes or no answer, or undecided really allows them to fully express their positions and opinions. And so they like the freedom to be able to provide additional information, because they want to be, many of them, most of them, want to present an accurate representation of where they stand on issues to the voters.
Right.
And the voters value the information because they can clearly understand where candidates stand on the issues. So again,
ncfamilyvoter.com.
ncfamilyvoter.com. It's up, it's live, it's waiting for you to access it, so please do that. There is a link below the video to ncfamilyvoter.com, which is great. There's also a link below where you can help support NC Family's Voter Guide project. Not only does this cost us staff time to produce and follow up with candidates and all of that, but we print the voter guide, 250,000 copies of the voter guide, and mail them and ship the bulk orders free of charge to citizens across the state. This is a public service that we do that we think is important, it's valuable, but if you would like to partner with us and help us get the voter guide in the hands of even more voters across the state, click on the link below the video where you can partner with us financially and help support and underwrite some of the cost of this project. Overall, the project costs the North Carolina Family Policy Council about $100,000. So it is a heavy investment for us.
Stamps aren't cheap.
No. Well, and printing's not cheap.
That's
Cost
right.
of everything,
That's
as
right.
we've heard,
It's gone up?
yes, prices of everything are
Something
going
about
up.
inflation, right?
Supply chain, inflation, all that sort of stuff. So yes, it is costing us more to produce, but we are happy, excited, and feel very fortunate to be able to do that, because this is incredibly important information, again, so that you can go into that voting booth and be a well-informed voter and vote for candidates who represent the values that you really care about.
That's right.
So anything else? I think
You
we
can go to
probably said it all.
ncfamilyvoter.com to get your voter guide today. Personalized voter guide.
Your personalized voter guide, yes. So, friends, it's fun. That we're excited about this because we know that it helps voters be informed and educated before they go vote. So, let's act on our civic responsibility. Make sure that we're well informed. Again, early voting, in-person early voting starts October the 17th. So there's still a good bit of time till that point. The general election is on November the 5th. You're going to be hearing more and more from us. In the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if we can be of assistance to you. Please make sure you click on those helpful links below the video to find out how you can help to be a resource and continue to pray for folks who have been really devastated and impacted by Hurricane Helene. Also to get links and access to the voter guide, to order voter guides in bulk for distribution at your church, and also to help support the project financially and partner with NC Family. Friends, as always, we thank you so much for your support, for your involvement, especially for your prayers, and we will look forward to seeing you next week with NC Family's Weekly Update.
Have a great day.
Sharon, Mitch, thank y'all. God bless.